Okay, in this video, I am gonna relate the chapter number 2 of Accounting Management 6th edition and its relation with a public company that is Amazon. So what I'm gonna do is, according to the objectives of the chapter, I'm gonna be relating those objectives and the information that I gather from reading with the Amazon and their main purpose. Well, the first learning objective is explain why both financial and non-financial measures are required to evaluate and manage a company's strategy. Um, a company is a very complex structure, so it is very difficult, and I think it's unsuccessful to only look at a company from the financial perspective or the non-financial perspective. For example, when you look at the customer relationship and the customer satisfaction, it is true that you can set some indicators, some numeric indicators to realize if you are doing good uh, a really good job when engaging the customers with your company. But when you need to gather information and to analyze what is actually happening with the customer relationship and with the image that you are producing in your target, this is something that is a qualitative information. So it's not only a financial thing. So I think both are very important to set a strategy, to analyze the company, and to identify the points in which you have to improve in order to have a better performance. The second learning objective that I think can be related to Amazon is explain why a clear strategy is vital for a company. Well, when you have a company, it's very important that when you have the first idea to start creating a strategy. That's why you always see business plans and different templates that you can use in order to develop the idea. When you have a strategy, it's easier for the manager and the leader who has the idea in their mind to transmit this idea to the employees and to the agents that are working with him in order to achieve the objectives. So when you don't set a strategy, or when your strategy is not clear, usually the company forgets why they exist for, and they um, don't know what to do because they in their strive to accomplish objectives and the different things that happen day by day in a company, they forget why, which is their main reason and their main purpose. So when you have something clear, it's easier to transmit this information to the other agents and to work aligned as a group, as a team, in order to go where in one time the leader saw the company should be. The other, for example, in Amazon is a company that wants to be the number one customer centric company. They want to work for the customer. For example, their demand is according to what the target is demanding. They wait for different research or for analyzing the customer base in order to start offering products, or to know which is the price that you have to set depending on which is the target that you are approaching, if it is in South America, if it is an international market, or if it is in North America. Because Amazon, as a international company, they have divided their operations into two different segments, which is North America, in which they have probably 80% or 90% of their costs, because all their warehouses, the the information, the web developers, and everything, and all the fulfillment, all the services that Amazon is offering are settled down in United States. So the only cost that they have on, like, abroad is a commercial cost, what it takes to sell and to advertise your product in other segments. So if, for example, they didn't have this this strategy of being the number one customer centric company, they will start selling different products. They wouldn't be paying a lot of attention of which is the delivery or the response time that they are offering. So when you have clear what you have to do and which are your goals and your objectives as a company, it's easier to succeed. And finally, the other learning objective regards in regards to the book, I think it is appreciate the idea for a strategy map to translate a strategy into financial, customer, process, and learning and growth objectives. Usually strategies as a whole, as a company, are difficult to be understood from the employee's point of view, because they were not the ones that at the first time thought, uh, which is the company that I want to create, or where do I want to be in, let's say, 10 years. They just came here because they like the way the company is doing, or they are very interested in the market, so they wanted to work here, but they didn't have the, let's say, the feeling, or the idea, or of what you want to do. So if the strategy is just shown as a whole, sometimes it's very difficult to be understood. But if you use a strategic map in order to segment the strategy into the four different perspectives, which are um, financial, customer, process, and learning and growth, which are gonna be objectives. In that way, you can take a look at a strategy as a less complex structure. So you know what you have to do in regards to the financial matters. You know what you have to do in order to reduce cost in the processes, or you know what to do when approaching customers, because you want the customer to have a really good image of the company. So when you basically, the idea, I think, in my perspective and from my point of view, the idea of a balanced scorecard and a strategic map is to show the main purpose in an easier way for the employees, in order to be better understood and to be successful when achieving the objectives. If I am a leader and I want to transmit the information and to transmit the ideas, I want to create a strategic map that is very easy to capture. Because if the employees can understand what I want to deliver and what I want to cause in the target that I want to approach, then my labor as a leader is great, and I'm very sure that the company will be successful when achieving their goals and when implementing the strategy that I created as a leader. Okay, this is everything about chapter number 2, in regards to Amazon and the learning objectives of the textbook Accounting Management 6th edition.